Namaskar. Hello and welcome to Peak Guru's channel. I'm your host, Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Shekhar Iyer ji, and the music that we just heard, it is based on Rag 𝗤𝗚𝗅. For those of you who may have forgotten about it, it started, several months ago. We started our music initiative with this Rag. Just wanted to tell you. And now, today we're going to talk about some very interesting things. For example, what is going to happen when the Ram Mandir is going to be opened? Is somebody is going to be carrying the idol? We know that Prime Minister Modi is going to be carrying the Ram Lalla Idol, and I'm sure the opposition has a lot of heartburn because of that. But be that as it may, there is more to it than just that. जैसे 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪 Ram है, दुनिया देखे नहीं. This is Kabir's famous doha. So with that, let me just introduce our guest of the evening, Shekhar Iyer ji. Shekhar ji, namaskar. How are you?
Namaskar, Ram Sree Iyer ji, Ram.
Ram Shekhar ji. So see, this is Ram lives in every facet of our lives, and that's why he's called Maryada Purushottam, because for a man, he embodied how a man should be leading his life. So there's much more to Ram than just the fact that he's an avatar, and that's what I wanted to highlight, sir. Let's get into the topic itself, the Ram Mandir, and how Modi ji is going to be carrying the Ram Lalla idol. What does this carrying the idol mean? A little bit more background on that, sir.
Well, sir, we are in the thick of elections to the 5 assemblies. And you can see that Kamal Nath, on behalf of the Congress, is saying things which his party is not willing to openly acknowledge. Like on the 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝘆 day, we heard the RSS Sarsanchalak, Mohan Bhagwat ji, saying that, look, a lot of things have happened and in the last 10 years, including the conclusion of a long struggle to have a grand Ram temple at the birthplace of Lord Ram in Ayodhya. And among other things, he listed several achievements that has happened, basically saying, look, at the Prime Minister Modi, we have been able to mark milestones in our Hindu cultural renaissance. And therefore, we need to look focus at the future also. And we need not brag about it, boast about it, and feel we don't have to be very publicly totally go out of senses to celebrate. Rather, let us appreciate the fact there will be a lot of people who may not be happy with the way things are happening, but the fact is we are moving ahead. The pride in our culture is gaining more and more strength, more and more recognition. This is what the thrust of Sir Chalak's speech was from Nagpur on 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝘆 day. That very evening, Prime Minister was addressing the Ram Lalla celebrations at 𝗤𝗏𝗏 in Delhi, and where the Prime Minister too mentioned the fact that Ram Temple, the construction of the Ram Temple, rather the events leading to final culmination of a grand Ram Temple at the birthplace of Lord Ram in Ayodhya, is itself a great proof of the patience with which people of India have waited for this day. And this day will be January 22nd of 2024. So, and soon after the Prime Minister's statement, you saw all the opposition leaders, particularly the Congress, piling on the Prime Minister and saying, look, he is trying to take credit, he's trying to hog credit, and this is being done because the elections are taking place in the 4 assembly. And there was kind of a manufactured outrage at why the Prime Minister is saying so. Well, Prime Minister did not say anything offensive. He said, as a matter of fact, that people waited for a legal verdict. And finally, the legal verdict handed out by the Supreme Court went in favor of a Ram temple at the very place where once a temple stood, which was later destructed by people who were then were part of the Babur, the first Mughal emperor's administration. And the fact that it was a temple was demolished and in its place a masjid was built, and that masjid was again named in honor of the first Mughal emperor. That is part of our narrative we have seen. People have questioned this narrative, and even today, even after the verdict was given long ago and construction is now nearing completion, at least the first stage of the completion, there has been a lot of politics. Particularly, Congress has been intending to play, is more worried about after the Karnataka results that there should be a repeat of it where it gets en masse the Muslim vote. Now, what has happened is Kamal Nath, who is the BJP, I mean Congress chief ministerial face in Madhya Pradesh, is now playing a tune which is completely out of sync with Congress approach. He has been saying, look, if at all anybody should take credit, it should Congress. Because under Rajiv Gandhi, if you recall those days, when Shah Bano judgment was reversed by the Congress by bringing an act of legislation to deny women the compensation that was allowed by Muslim women, compensation that was allowed by Supreme Court, which became the famous or infamous Shah Bano case. Then some attempt had to be done to balance, to not to appear that he was pandering to Muslim clergy or the extreme Muslim positions. Therefore, a decision was taken that the locked, since the temple was locked right from late 40s, and Bhutta Singh being Home Minister and Rajiv Gandhi as Prime Minister, they decided to open the lock. Now, Kamal Nath says this is a very turning point. If the lock had not been opened, if Kar Seva had not been announced, that is, originally the VHP movement was construction of a gate, a grand gate for a proposed Ram temple, and the sanctum sanctorum would be where the then Babri Masjid stood. Without, at that time, it was not clear how that Babri Masjid could be replaced by Ram temple. But that act of unlocking has also been criticized by a lot of our friends of the Congress who were very upset with that Congress was pandering to Hindu sentiments. Now, today, Kamal Nath says, look, we did it. The credit belongs to us. The Ram temple belongs to us. Now, this has upset many Congress leaders, including Rahul Gandhi. But then they are depending on Kamal Nath to deliver. Kamal Nath has already proclaimed that he is a Hanuman Bhakt. And in Chhindwara, he says he has built a 101 foot high statue of Hanuman. Now, amidst all this, we have just come to know that the Prime Minister Modi may be asked to, do the ritual carrying of the Ram Lalla, that is the baby Ram, from the present makeshift temple to the newly ready, which has been newly constructed, the Garbhagriha for this Ram Lalla in the main temple on January 22nd. And that would require the Prime Minister to walk for at least 500 meters carrying baby Ram, which is there currently the makeshift temple. That would be a highly televised serial. I mean, a highly televised event, I would say. I'm calling it serial because there are more events to follow. Because this is the first phase of the temple. There could be more grander events in Pipe Store. But the symbolic act of carrying the baby Ram, statue of baby Ram, from the makeshift temple to the new Garbhagriha of the to be consecrated Ram temple, this is going to be a very, very big mega event. And it will be very symbolic. And this will be complete contrary to the position Nehru had taken when Somnath was rebuilt. And if you recall, sir, when Somnath temple, of course, Nehru refused to participate, saying that it would affect his secular credentials, secular quote unquote. And he did not like Sardar Patel even joining there, or he did not like Babu Rajendra Prasad, who was the president of India then, to go there. He said, state must keep away from religion. That is, those who represent state must keep away from religion. Whereas rebuilding of Somnath temple was itself, I would consider, as a very important way of reasserting India's cultural identity, because that temple had been attacked not less than 7 times, and we all know how many times it was plundered. Every time it was rebuilt, and that itself is the story of the fact that India had faced tremendous, I would say, atrocities being committed by people who came as invaders. Now, this symbolic act that the Modi is proposed to undertake, I'm told the plans are underway, and when he steps out, it will be exactly like the way when the Kashi Vishwanath temple corridor was consecrated. We still remember those vivid scenes of Prime Minister taking a dip in the Ganges and carrying the Ganges water in his in a kumbh, and taking and walking from the ghat to the Kashi Vishwanath temple, and then pouring that Ganges water on the Shivling. And that itself was, that inauguration itself, I would say, revived the long forgotten memories of the time when Kashi Vishwanath temple and in a city that is considered world oldest city, Banaras. Now that imagery, now a new imageries will be created when this is going to happen. Now before that, you're going to have Deepavali. Deepavali, for the last couple of Diwalis you have seen, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister has always called it Deep Utsav. That is a symbolic way of, welcoming Lord Ram back from his Sri Lanka sojourn, and by lighting diyas on the banks of the river Sarai. And first it was 1 lakh, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, the whole banks is lit with lamps. Now that will be the first thing. And the Prime Minister in his Ram Lila address in Dwaraka said, look, the grandest thing will be not just the consecration of the temple, the first phase. The rather the next step would be the grand Ramanavami will be celebrated in April. That is even cutting very close to the Lok Sabha elections. Now this obviously upsets the opposition parties who see that the BJP is back to using the Ram as a symbol for yeah. But then at least Kamal Nath has not forgotten. In 1991, sir, see, in 1986 that the locks were opened. Subsequently, several things happened. But in 91, Rajiv Gandhi started his campaign from Ayodhya, promising Ram Rajya. And that is how 1991 election. But that very election, after first three phases, he was killed in Sri Perambatoor. That's a different story. Now, the fact of the matter is, among all other issues, the Ram temple has slowly come back to a kind of a center stage, and the visuals of the Prime Minister carrying Ram Lalla. After all, a number of BJP leaders like Ravi Shankar Prasad represented Ram Lalla in that Ayodhya case, because Ram Lalla, who is Virajman in Ayodhya, was represented by Ravi Shankar Prasad, because the baby Ram also needed a lawyer to present his case. So that is what happened in the Ayodhya case. Now, this being the scenario, what we are saying is a section of the Congress, right from Indira Gandhi's time, has always been saying, look, we are a centrist party, but doesn't mean we should completely ignore Hindu sentiments. Now, Kamal Nath represents that phase of the Congress today. There are others who are silent about it. They can't speak because they are scared of Rahul Gandhi, but not Kamal Nath. Because since the entire Gandhi clan has left it to Kamal Nath to deliver Madhya Pradesh, they are not saying anything. And he has been saying, because even today he was asked, are you having soft Hindutva? He said, what soft Hindutva? I don't believe in soft Hindutva, medium Hindutva, or just Hindutva. I believe in what I say. Earlier he had said, what Hindu Rashtra? Are not we 80% Hindus? So which is all, goes away from the so-called orchestrated secular line of the Congress. So what we are going to see is the months to come, after these assembly elections get over and the mood is set for the Lok Sabha elections, Ram Temple will remain a very big focus, whether parties want it or not. And once again, you are going to see the debate between secularism, pseudo secularism, communalism, and things like that. But I think people have good reasons to celebrate the consecration of the Ram Temple, and they should not be denied for the fact that just because the verdict ended a long period of strife between two communities, and that too because largely, even when a section of the Muslims wanted a settlement, there were so-called secularists who prevented a settlement. And even today, they keep on lamenting the fact that a masjid was broken, and that when the court has examined evidences, the matter went up to apex court. Court has given a verdict. Even now, some attempts are made to question the Supreme Court verdict on Ayodhya, which one should not, because this was one verdict that actually settled it. We all know that there is a mosque which is under construction in the land that was allotted as per the Supreme Court judgment. Well, it will have its own date of opening, and they are also building a hospital near that masjid. So, when things have ended, at least political parties in the name of secularism should not, play the role of a killjoy.
Thank you so much, Shekhar And with your permission, sir, I want to read about the importance of putting Ganga Jal on a Murti. And I'm going to read from Dr. Nagaswami's book, Tamil Nadu, the Land of Vedas. Are you able to read it, sir? Are you able to read the font?
Yes, Land of Vedas.
Yeah. So here on, let me see the page number, page 337. Rajendra Chola, whose other name is called 𝗒𝙗𝘅 Cholan. That means that Chola king that conquered even up to Ganges. What he did was, he was a worshipper of an Ugra Narsimha form, and he used to go to this small temple in Virupuram district. And what he did was, once he won that battle, he had all the kings that he conquered as part of this campaign. Or he went all the way up to what was Vanga, that is Bengal. All these kings were asked to come. They all came to the Virupuram place, and they put, each one of them did Abhisheka with Gangajal. Just imagine, sir, in 10th century, 11th century, you know, elephants probably carried all this water, and every king that he had subjugated had to come and do Abhisheka to the Ugra Narsimha that he worshipped. So this is a very significant moment in the way the Sanatana Dharma, is followed and practiced. So I'm very happy that it's being done this way. And with your permission, sir, we have a small skit or a small teaser that we have put for Ram Mandir. So we would just like to play that one now. Now, so one of the interesting things that you mentioned about Rahul Gandhi, soft Hindutva, medium Hindutva, hard Hindutva, does the man even understand what he's talking about, Shekhar ji? Because I don't see him even, behaving like a Hindu, even nominally.
He is anti-Hindutva, sir. That is, in fact, the way they are pursuing or in pursuit of Muslim votes, that we are seeing in election after the Karnataka success. Now it is very clear whether it is Telangana or even in Rajasthan, and the fact that despite in privately several Congress leaders saying, look, our position on Ram Mandir, which despite Rajiv Gandhi's role in allowing car seva, in allowing the opening of the locks, because Congress also believed that there should, because right from Rajiv Gandhi's time, the Congress also believed that a Ram temple should come up at that place. But only thing, they were caught in a position that the masjid should not be in any way affected. Now, how could a Ram temple come up in a place where the masjid stood? And how could masjid and mosque be in the same place? Because this was a paradox that the Congress kept on saying, holding that the masjid should also be there, Ram temple should be there, there should be compromise. That obviously did not work, because those who felt that the masjid came up after the destruction of a grand Ram temple, and why was that spot a Ram temple was existed before the invaders came, was for the simple reason it is believed that Ram was born there. Now, this was, people question this whole thing. Who knows Ram was born there? What is the proof of the birth of Ram? Several people did it. I mean, particularly we know southern parties like DMK. They said it's all complete humbug. There is nothing like that. They did all that, and they have played with the sentiments of the faith of Hindus. But finally, sir, the fact of the matter was, throughout India, and particularly in northern states, the very mention of Ram evokes strong faith and strong bhakti. That layer of bhakti, that the wave, that bhakti surpassed politics. It's completely down to political voices. That is why when the verdict came, people felt that justice has been done. Now, for the Congress party to constantly, because elections are coming, you sound as if, look, we should also take credit. So the Congress interest is more in taking credit, not in the fact that it is willing to share a sense of uh, satisfaction of a large number of devotees that finally a Ram temple is coming up there. They don't want to share that sentiment, lest they fear that they would lose Muslim votes. But Congress needs that political courage and will to accept the fact. Look, even its predecessors, the predecessors to the present leadership, they felt the same. But the only thing was there was a problem, and how to have the temple and the Babri Masjid in the same place. And obviously, that Ram temple could not be in the masjid, and masjid cannot be in a temple complex. So it took us such a long years of litigation, and then, you know, uh, finally, when the and Congress did not even want a verdict, they went to the court. Kapil Sibal told Supreme Court, "Don't give a verdict, because if we give a verdict, it will benefit the BJP in 2019 elections." So, I mean, this is a point where has come. Now there is a pressure of elections. Sir, Kamal Nath is also promising a Sita temple. Now, if you ask me where he wants, the Madhya Pradesh government will spend money to build a Sita temple, a temple for Sita Ma in Sri Lanka, because she is supposed to have been kept as a prisoner by Lord Ravan,
Ashok Vatika. Hmm.
Ashok Vatika. So, the Madhya Pradesh government, when Kamal Nath was there as a chief minister earlier, he had proposed, that state government spend money to build a temple in Sri Lanka. Now, that project obviously did not take off after Kamal Nath lost power. He is again promising we will rebuild that Sita temple in Sri Lanka. We will rather build a temple for Sita in Sri Lanka. I do not know what are the plans of that Sita temple there. You have to buy land, or where is the place allotted? Will the Sri Lankan government be amenable to this idea? I do not know about this. But the fact is, Kamal Nath wants to show he calls himself Hanuman Bhakt, and he says he has promised more Hanuman temples all over Madhya Pradesh. Sir, for election purposes, they are wanting to show that they are appreciative of the Hindu sentiments and faith. But other times, they continue to wear the Nehru's brand of secularism as a kind of an albatross around their neck. But now with the Ram temple construction and completion, I think that the politics will change in the north. The change in the sense, some people think that now that the Ram temple is there, it will no more be an issue. I don't look at it that way. I rather see it that with the completion of the Ram temple, people will start feeling, look, it has taken more than 75 years to realize that certain sentiments and values associated with our land, with Bharatavarshe, has lot to do with the faith of this people, faith of the people who dwell in this land. And that faith needs to be appreciated, that faith needs to be seen in proper context. Without which, otherwise, it would appear as if you are branding all Hindus as either some fundamentalists or people who are opposed to other religions, which is not so. After all, the concept of Vasudeva Kutumbaka is a very much the living, and I would say the living spirit of this land. That is why so many people have come here as refugees, whether it is Parsis or Arab traders who came to Kerala, or even the first masjid that was built in Kerala, much before uh, long. In fact, it is still there. I mean, in the North Kerala. So therefore, I think this is a time for even politicians to look at it. Instead of again trying to play the old record, cracked record, that temple is coming again, BJP will benefit. Forget BJP, sir. Here it is people who have revered Ram and who have always lamented the fact that the Bhavya Mandir in that city called Ayodhya, and Ayodhya is one of the seven Moksha Puris. And, and in fact, there are several Sanskrit slokas to rhyme with that. Ayodhya, Avantika, Kanchi, Puri, so Dwarka, all these places. So I think Madhya Pradesh elections, Congress, whether they like it or not, Kamal Nath is steering a course towards a very, very distinct Hindu flavor campaign, whereas Rahul Gandhi is rather very uncomfortable with the whole idea. But then, if they can win elections, he'll be more than happy with what Kamal Nath has done.
Yeah, so what he would like the people to do is to be, Hindutva supporters to win in Madhya Pradesh and forget all about it come national elections just a few months later. I mean, these are all the wishful thinking that these people have. But be that as it may, let us set that aside for a moment. The significance of Ram Mandir and the Ram Temple. See, I don't know how many of you viewers you remember that there was a sort of a kickoff ceremony that Yogi Adityanath ji did, I think 2-3 years ago, if I remember correctly, for which a member of the royal family of South Korea had attended. Why? Because they claim lineage back to Rama. I don't know if you remember that, sir. The princess had come. And now, believe it or not, viewers, Sehun, who has come on P Guru's channel, he is also from the same member, same family. He draws his lineage from Lord Rama. It's huge if you look at how much this goes back, because remember that Rama's date of existence is somewhere around 5110 BC is when he was supposed to have been born. This dating has been done by Bharat Gyan. You can go and look at their videos on YouTube. So there is a lot of emotional connect, not just in India but beyond. That's what I wanted to say, sir. So let's take a quick look at what is coming next. Sir, this Congress on the back foot, is it something to do with the fact that Chhattisgarh suddenly they see themselves in a bit of a soup, because a lot of allegations are now coming against Baghel for that Mahadev app for which he's supposed to have taken 15 crores as bribe? Anything beyond that, sir?
Well, sir, the things have really hotted up in that case because this case has been under investigation for the last 6 months by the Enforcement Directorate. With the first phase of Chhattisgarh poll set for November 7th. Now, yesterday, ED has come out with a detailed statement saying that they have arrested a person who was acting as a courier between those Mahadev App, which is an online betting app, which has swindled a number of people because initially they used to pay people who made small bets and one bets, but when they started increasing the value of those their bets, they were not paid and the money vanished, and they didn't know to whom they had paid and where the money went. And it seems the promoters of these apps, two people called one is Saurabh Chandrakar and another is Ravi Uppal. They are Dubai based, and incidentally they belong to Bhilai of Chhattisgarh, and they seem to have well networked in the present Chhattisgarh dispensation. Now, a person named Asim Das, he was traveling in a car, and that car was intercepted. And Enforcement Directorate, to their own shock, they discovered he was carrying more than 2 crores as cash. And when he was quizzed, when he was asked, where is this cash, where it is going, he said that he served as a courier between Dubai and Chhattisgarh, and his whole idea is to he was directed to pay some amount of money to a politician called Mr. Baghel. No first name was made. Now, then they uh, raided a place in Durg where he said some more money is kept, and there they discovered more crores, and all total almost close to 6 crores have been found in cash. Now, apart from the fact, in the last few months, last September onwards, they have raided more than 39 places, and they have seized 425 crores. Several people have been interrogated. Now, who is this Ashim Das? Who is this courier? And the matter became further light because when uh, this Chandravarkar, when he held his wedding in Dubai, it seems he blew up at least 200 crores. Some of the Bollywood stars went there, and police EDS quizzed them also because the payment was routed through Hawala. Here in this case also, now the allegation is that this Mahadev app, promoters of Mahadev had deep network established in the CM's office, knew people who were close to him, and there seems to be something to do with elections because they fear this whole money was coming in to help the Congress managers with some money to manage elections. Now, Since yesterday, since the enforcement directorate came out with a statement mentioning about 𝗤𝗂𝘅, and then and their that they feel that Mahadev App could have paid up to 508 crores to people close to the Chhattisgarh Chief Minister. So Congress today, it set alarm bells ringing. They were worrying, wondering whether 𝗤𝗂𝘅 would be arrested because he is the Chief Minister, I mean, sitting Chief Minister, and Congress is fighting Chhattisgarh election on his name. So you had leading guns of the Congress today holding a press conference and saying that enforcement directorate is being used to target 𝗤𝗂𝘅 just before 24 hours before or 48 hours before the first phase of poll. This shows that BJP is very desperate. They are using these bodies, and there is a pattern that opposition leaders are targeted. Now, but there was no other explanation. And then Mr. 𝗤𝗂𝘅 himself subsequently has been holding press conferences or talking to reporters saying that this is to tarnish his name. There is no truth to this. And if Mahadev App was indeed a fraudulent way of conning people, why did the central government not ban the Mahadev App? But the fact is, the Mahadev Act largely networked from Chhattisgarh. Some of the people in that setup knew those close to Bhupesh Baghel. And the fact that they have cheated people, particularly the poor people, many people have lost money. And they didn't know to whom did they pay, because the payment was always through the app. And from them it went to third person, and then through Hawala the money went out, and through Hawala it is also coming back at the time of elections. So today Prime Minister addressed a meeting in Chhattisgarh, where the Prime Minister said that Congress has not spared any opportunity to swindle people, and they did not even spare Mahadev, reference to Mahadev App. Now, this is very much angered the Congress leaders who say that Prime Minister is using these agencies. Sir, this is the standard defense of the opposition leaders, that we are being targeted. That whether it is DMK in Tamil Nadu, or RJD in Bihar, or now Congress in Chhattisgarh, or NCP in Maharashtra, we are being targeted. Sir, but I have a counter question. Now, let us assume 100% you are being targeted. Okay. But what is it in the past conduct or even present conduct that makes it easy for ED to discover this cash of such a huge amount from people who are close to you? And what is it that all your actions somehow is leading to such situations, assuming that you are being targeted for political purposes? At least ED is not placing those cash. ED is not putting the cash in your house and then catching you and saying, but this money was found in you. That is not the legal charge. But what is it in your conduct when you are in power? I am asking the Congress party. What is it, or even the opposition parties, that your acts of commission and omission and your past deeds lead to a situation where it leads to a money trail? We have already seen the havoc caused by Supreme Court observation in the Manish Sisodia case, that the ED has established money trail regarding Delhi excise scam, that the bribe was paid. Now, similarly, what is it that it is happening? Sir, there used to be an ad for innerwear of Rupa, where Govinda will be traveling in a metro or in a electric train, EMUs in Mumbai. And one person tells Govinda, why are you giving me a dhakka? Why are you giving me a push? Then the Govinda says, मैंने धक्का दिया तो तुमने धक्का क्यों लिया? If I pushed you, why are you being forced to take that push? Of course, then the ad goes on with the tagline, "Ye andar ki baat hai, Rupa underwear," and things like that. But what I am saying is, if BJP is giving you dhakka, what is it in you that you are forced to take this dhakka? Why is that there are money trails? Why is it that some people are? No, I am assuming 100% you are being targeted because elections are coming. But the question is, have you created the ground where the grass will grow and the snake will come? Or or you grew the grass to allow the snake to come? Now, the sum and substance is, sir, that some of these charges and allegations that are being leveled against some Congress leaders in the ruled states, local people believe it. They say, look, we knew that a lot of money was playing around. Where was that money coming from? Whether it is Ashok Gehlots son or his ministers, everybody says, or sir, take Trinamool. Sir, at least the 11 senior leaders and ministers have been caught by Enforcement Directorate and CBI. But so much of money has come. The latest is the food minister. And he is accused of adulteration, giving poor quality food to poor people. What is that this is happening? I think this needs to be, because all the time this is the counter we are seeing is no, this is opposition, vendetta against opposition, but things like that. But I want to go beyond that and say, why is it that you in your backyard you have left things in such a way that it is easy to see the spoils of your being in office? So this election, sir, and sir, the bigger thing that I think which the Congress could be worried. Now, assuming the first phase of election take place on 7th of this, I mean, it is going to take place. Then the 17th, the second phase. Now, after that, what prevents the ED from arresting 𝗼𝗡𝘅 Baghel? Because the case continues and the results will come on December 3rd. And there is a worry in the Congress. Will 𝗼𝗡𝘅 Baghel be prevented from taking office as CM if the Congress does well, as they expect Congress to do well? Then there is a question of leadership. Then who will be the next leader? Because 𝗼𝗡𝘅 Baghel has not allowed even his shadow to be a challenger to him. So this is going to get very, very interesting, and it is pregnant with lot of political possibilities.
Thank you so much, Shekhar ji. And I'm really intrigued as to why the opposition, and I'm talking about opposition in as a whole, they appear to be self-combusting more than anything else. I mean, it's like, "Aa bail mujhe maar," that sort of stuff. If you look at it, for example, you look at Tamil Nadu, for example, MK Stalin, I have to say, okay, the DMK government does not allow Annamalai to hoist a flagpole right in front of his house. And now he just said, okay, fine, I'm taking you on this. So he said from the 1st of November, I'm going to start planting 100 flags every day across Tamil Nadu. And people are getting arrested for just showing up to see the flag being planted. It's the thing is, DMK could have just ignored this point. Are they so scared of a flag? And in this case, 𝗼𝗡𝘅 Baghel stuff, see, thus far, nobody had said anything about Chhattisgarh. It was just very, very dormant. And election time, of course, tempers are going to fray. But we knew for 6 months now that this Mahadev app has been swindling people. See, most important thing, an app has been swindling people. That people don't take very kindly to. Corruption, like for example, for PWD contracts, they know, okay, this is supposed to last 1 year, it will only last 6 months because half of the money has been eaten by the politicians. That's a way. Even that people are demanding quality now because they say National Highway Gadkari ji puts good highways. Why are you not doing it? So they're everywhere they are finding this problem. But my concern, and I'll let you answer this question, sir, are the opposition parties self-combusting?
Well, sir, sir, when it comes to making a killing out of while in being in office, no Congress leader worth his salt or any opposition leader worth his salt want to let go of an opportunity, because he
They're
doesn't know
creating
when.
though.
No, because he doesn't know when the sun will shine again. So make hay while sun, SON or SUN shines. So, so whether it is Ashok Gehlot's son or any other minister's son or kith and kin, they don't want to let go of an opportunity. Sir, corruption we have seen. I mean, I am not holding brief for anybody in power. Yes, if the opposition parties feel that when they get a chance, when they come to power, they are going to unearth the looting by any BJP leader, it should be welcome. We are not going to say that that is wrong or vendetta or anything, because otherwise, how do you fight corruption? It is good. Modi has broken this, the comfortable thing. Look, I touch you not, you touch me not, which is what the usual Maharashtra politics used to be at one time. And they will claim good, great personal relationships because they won't get into poke nose into the other's business or even help others' business. And that favor would be returned when the other side comes to power. But that cycle was broken now. When cases were registered and investigated against, whether it NCP, Shiv Sena, Congress, or anybody else. So this whole thing is, sir, we have to see that the corruption in politics, even if it is being unearthed in the name of vendetta or because of vendetta, I think we should welcome it. Because at least when the other side comes over, they'll also get after people. And ultimately, people may get relief from corruption by this process. Otherwise, if you have a friendly understanding, I will help you in your time, you will help me in my time. And I mean, there has to be a disruption. And that is what is happening. And this is upsetting Congress tremendously because they realize in these elections, right before elections, whether it is Telangana, whether it is Rajasthan, whether it's Chhattisgarh, the flow of money for election purposes or strategy management has suddenly become gone haywire because of actions of the ED. Now, whether ED actions are timed with elections or ED actions are intended to prevent from Congress from using its resources, that's an open question. Now, what are these resources? How these resources were collected? Whichever party that has been in power. But the fact of the matter is, we know that today's elections have huge costs at the constituency level, at the state level. So, sir, bigger question is, look, there is no defense to say that, look, I'm being targeted because of this. I don't think that reason is going to. Of course, Chhattisgarh Congress has been placed by several poll analysts, by several opinion polls, as doing very well. And that Bhupesh Baghel is seen as a most favorite to return as chief minister. But corruption as an issue has now gained momentum there. How much it will affect the prospects of various Congress candidates? Because even Baghel's opponents in Congress, they themselves say that they have seen worst form of corruption. And so much so, even district collectors have been, appointed specifically in some districts and actually with the task of collecting, not revenue for the state, but revenue for the powers that be. This allegation has been made.
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
No, these allegations have been made. Even Raman Singh, who was chief minister for 15 years, who also faced some allegations of corruption at the fag end, he also feels, look, that the bureaucracy has been co-opted by Bhupesh Baghel. And Baghel's clout in the Congress party has lot to do with the financial resources he commands. Sir, you can impress the Gandhis only with your financial management. Whether it is D.K. Shiv Kumar, Bhupesh Baghel, Ashok Gehlot to some extent, you have to show that clout.
Guys, I don't know how many of you have read this latest book of mine, because this book of mine covers in extensive detail what you just mentioned about what the Congress family likes. It's a book of fiction, of course, but it shows you step by step the criteria you need to have to be able to climb up the ladder. And I had a lot of fun writing this because I did a lot of research on this. So I hope you guys read it too. And if you want to know really the quality of the book or how the book felt, go to Amazon.in, look up Paper in, Money Out, read the reviews. Then you will understand that what kind of an impact that has had on the people who read the book. And these are not people that I asked and say I'm not gaming the system. Unlike some other authors, I'm not gaming the system. I'm too consumed with YouTube videos and P gurus to do any of that 𝗣𝗼𝘃 stuff. You will not see me on TV. You will not see me on LitFest. Why? Because I'm doing 4 videos a day, guys. 3 in English and 1 in Tamil. Guaranteed. I have to minimum deliver so much. And for that, a lot of requirements in time. Anyway, long story short, Shekharji, I see that the Karnataka Congress lost a golden opportunity to put the thing across to BJP also. Remember, their catchy slogan was Pay CM, PAYCM. So you said you came to power saying that Bommai was corrupt, that Yediyurappa before him was corrupt. Why didn't you show and unearth all the scams that these guys did? You're already 6 months into it. See, if you don't fight back, fight fire with fire, Modi has made his point clear. I am going after you guys for corruption. So if you think that they had committed corruption, you should also fight them on that. See, I am looking for democracy to be healthy in India. For that, you have to have a robust opposition. Doesn't matter who. I'm asking Congress, why are you guys letting go of these golden opportunities? So if you don't now go after BJP there, that means that your PCM was a hoax. It was a lie that you just did it to win votes. Is that true? I hope not. Sir Shekharji, this back and forth will happen, but I am yet to see a single Congress government or any state government to taking the BJP on by the bull bull by the horns and saying that this is what you've done. Unless they do that, right, there's always this credibility problem that these guys are perhaps much more corrupt than the other guys. I don't know what could be the reason, sir. Now we have one more topic to do before we take questions. I'm sorry, we're kind of little
Sir,
emotionally.
you asked what the Congress will do. As
Yeah.
I told you, sir, for them proving that point is a secondary thing. They may probably do it when they are close to elections. Otherwise, they would like to make hay while the sun shines.
SON and SUN.
And that is why, all those MLAs being upset that their development work, quote unquote, development activity has come to halt. The legislators, Congress legislators think they come to halt. Now there is an open rivalry between, it is getting more and more open. Siddaramaiah is trying to co-opt more Congress leaders on his side. And DK Shivkumar's people are saying, look, it's question of few months that DKS will be chief minister. Because the whole purpose is who makes hay better, DKS or Siddaramaiah? And who stores those hay that has been made?
Sir, one other disturbing thing about the dot coalition itself, uh, we don't see, for example, Akhilesh Yadav coming and campaigning for Congress in Madhya Pradesh. We don't see anybody else going to any other state to try and campaign, whereas Yogi Adityanath ji has been campaigning in other states. Now, this kind of a camaraderie is missing. And what exactly is going on? And now Nitish Kumar is blaming the Congress for what, sir?
Sir, Nitish says that nothing is happening in this alliance. A point that we have said several times in this hangout, now being said by a principal character in this opposition alliance. We have been saying nothing has happened. All that noises that was made in the first meeting of opposition leaders in in Patna, followed by Bangalore, then in Mumbai, then a coordination committee meeting in so that is in Delhi, which was again not fully attended. After that, nothing has happened. So Nitish Kumar has been saying that Congress is not paying attention to the opposition alliance. Now, alarmed by the publicity that Nitish Kumar's observation received, we are told Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, spoke to Nitish Kumar today, telling him that look, we will pay attention to all this. Let our elections get over. We are at the moment focused on the assembly elections, and after that we will. We'll talk to our alliance partners, sir. Whatever they may talk, the point is, a seat sharing agreement is not possible. We just saw what happened in Madhya Pradesh. Samajwadi Party, I don't know, for the interest of increasing their aggregate in terms of votes polled, which helps them to keep their national party status. They wanted at least to contest in 6 seats in Madhya. Congress went ahead because Kamal Nath said, "Who is this Akhilesh and all that?" And he declared all the 6 seats which were to be contested by the Congress. Now, after that, there has been a lot of blood. Second run Samajwadi Party leaders have been attacking the Congress. Similarly, their counterparts in the Congress have been attacking Samajwadi. And an admission by Nitish Kumar at this juncture to say Congress is doing nothing. Congress कुछ नहीं कर रही है, अभी कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Kind of observation from Nitish Kumar, who is already upset, we know, for the fact that he was not assigned any central role as a convener or a chairperson of this opposition alliance. So he's already very upset. Of course, some people tell me that Nitish Kumar is always upset wherever he is. So there is nothing new about it. When he was in NDA, he was upset in NDA. When he is in India alliance, he'll be upset there. He has his own melancholic ways. That's what I'm told. But the fact of the matter is, jokes apart, now this is the month of November. You have December, January, February, 3 months. Now, what kind of arrangements are going to take place in the 3 months where the opposition will be able to, carry out their original formula of putting up one candidate, a common candidate against BJP or Indian Army? At the moment, the prospect is very bleak. No regional party wants to give up the number of seats it wishes to contest because their bargaining power post election depends on how many seats actually they contest and win. And why do they want to accommodate Congress? Now, Congress, the fact that Kharge has told Nitish Kumar, you wait till the assembly elections. For a simple reason, Congress feels if you are going to do very well in these 4 assembly elections,
Tenga.
then we can say, look, we are on a back train. Either be with us or be against us. So that is why they are also waiting. But then 2018 also all these states were won by Congress, but 2019 was a different result.
Well. A lot of things that will get sorted out in the next month or so. In fact, less than that, December 3rd, we will know. Water will be separated from milk, and grain will be separated from chaff. So we will take it up. And now for a few questions, please. Thank you, Arun Kumar Kakirala, for becoming a YouTube member. Thank you, Radhakrishnan Kalyanatsundaram, for becoming a member. Rajsekar Burraji, thank you for your donation. Pawan Kishore wants to know, Namaskaram, sir. Kharge's admission of potential problems if the PM candidate is declared before polls is self-goal and could fuel Modi versus who debate. Will it not weaken the INDI alliance?
Sir, it is not strengthened up for it to get weakened. It is already it's already in such a shape. I mean, it's still on the drawing board. Nothing has happened as yet. But anyway, the Kharge fears, that if statements like Nitish Kumar, who seldom speaks, that if he started speaking, you can understand the frustration that is there among other opposition leaders. Anyway, they know that the Congress is fighting elections, and Congress will think about Lok Sabha elections only after these assembly elections are over. So that will be a turning point as to what will be the relationship between the Congress and other parties in the opposition grouping. That's also important. And what kind of narrative that the Congress can hope to set if they do well in these elections, and what happens if they don't do well. Then how do they justify their demand for extra seats or more seats? I mean, this is all questions that will need some answers after the results are announced on December the 3rd.
Next question, please. Pathar Tosser wants to know, Kejriwal will decide when he will be arrested. FIR Supreme Court ki kya zarurat hai?
Sir, he has decided he
Fir,
should not
I'm
be
sorry,
arrested.
Fir, not FIR. Fir, sorry.
No, Patharji, Kejriwal has decided that he should not be arrested because after all making the preparation and the bravado, I'm going to be arrested, Kejriwal is being arrested, with all that, he finally did not turn up before ED. And instead, as advised by Hemant Soren, I believe Hemant Soren told him, why do you want to go before there? If you go there, you are finished. Because they'll arrest you means that you have to give up your CM's post. And after that, we do not know who will succeed, what will happen, who is the successor. Some people think Gopal Rai is senior most, but they say that he does not get along with Kejriwal. So then people said 𝗖𝗎 could be 𝗖𝗎 stands a good chance. Now, he has been told, that's what I'm hearing, that Hemant Soren and Kejriwal have been talking to each other, and Hemant Soren has been in a similar situation. He is wanted by ED. Yes, ED has summoned him in connection with land scam in Jharkhand. Hemant Soren has been summoned not once or twice, sir, 5 times. And all these 5 times he has not appeared. And he has made the very arguments which Kejriwal has made, which I think he has borrowed from Hemant Soren, which is, what capacity are you calling me? Are you calling me as a witness? Are you calling me as the leader of the Aam Aadmi Party? Are you calling me as a chief minister? All these questions, these are all diversionary and tactics to avoid arrest. Now, how long will the ED wait? Will ED move the court and get a court warrant to arrest him for questioning? And he also, Kejriwal wants to know, are you questioning me as a witness? And the move to summon Kejriwal happened after Supreme Court said, while denying bail to Manish Sisodia, look, we are convinced that the agencies have traced the money route, money trail, that the bribes were paid for or to fine tuning that liquor policy, which was again immediately abandoned after a month when they realized that skeletons are tumbling out. So there the situation is Kejriwal, sir, he has created a party. There is no number two there. Even the so-called number two was Manish Sisodia, and Manish Sisodia is in jail, and he has to be there for next 2-3 months. So Kejriwal has decided suddenly at the last minute, like that he will not go to the ED, and he will challenge his summon, he will challenge his avoid going there. Now ED will also be determined because they have already gathered lot of details as to that money was paid indeed to some of the aides, and the accused who are already facing investigation by ED. They have said that they discussed the policies with Kejriwal at several occasions.
Next one, please. Raghavendra Sagar wants to know, Namaskar. Can we conclude that with Modi carrying Ram Lalla till Janmabhoomi symbolizes the end of hypothetical Brahminical supremacism? It is to be noted that Modi is also a Somnath Mandir in the Somnath Mandir Trust.
So several symbols will be read when Modi ji carries the statue of Ram Lalla into the temple. Yes, it can be, I can say, a watershed moment, like the opening up of the temples, when even Sri Narayana Guru was in the forefront of the temple movement. That was also a very epoch-making event. Similarly, this could also, I mean, one can sociology look at it that way, but more than that, I think what it means for the Hindu society, because more than individual symbolism, shown by Prime Minister carrying this, they may have political symbolism. But in terms of the message to society, the larger factor will be that a grand temple has finally come up in Ayodhya after facing several hurdles. And not just before, I mean, after independence, even before independence.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of Narayana Guru, he had a unique distinction of, having three of his disciples become chief ministers, two of his disciples become home ministers, one of his disciples become the prime minister. I can go on. I'm not even tacking all the other smaller things, but he was a very unique individual. And viewers, you all know about this. I've told this thing before. Who were his disciples? So let's move on. You can put in by way of comments if you remember what I had mentioned in my previous episodes. Next question, please. ARS wants to know, sir, which way will Chhattisgarh go? Your views, please. Similarly, Telangana is BRS on back foot.
Well, Telangana, I think, despite the BRS being on a back foot after an aggressive Congress campaign and several Ayaram, Gayaram, people moving from those who did not get ticket in Congress, they came to TRS. And some people from some Congress leaders who had come to TRS went back to Congress, thinking Congress is doing well. That is one story. Now, Chhattisgarh is concerned, we still get the feedback, and if you look at the summary of all the opinion polls and other things, they have indicated that Congress has a good edge. But we do not know what is happening on the ground with these allegations coming up. And definitely, 𝗣𝗚𝘅 𝗫𝗫 looks rattled today after the ED's charge about huge spin-off from this scam. So, from this app. So, I'm not able to predict that Congress will definitely come back. Yes, Congress had an edge, but subsequent to this, how the campaign is going to shape up, particularly in the second phase, because there is a pattern in which, sir, Chhattisgarh votes. The tribal areas or Dalit pockets, they vote in a particular way, though BJP has been making vote. Then the non-tribal pockets like Raipur, like say Bhilai, like Durg, these places have a different pattern. But corruption, if this current this Mahadev App controversy, if this is going to play heavily on people's mind, and if there are more number of victims from Chhattisgarh, then definitely Congress will find it quite an upstream effort in order to win some seats in those areas.
Next one, please. Pawan Kishore wants to know, there is a belief in people that only corrupted leaders from opposition leaders are arrested and not the corrupt leaders from BJP. BJP do have people like CM Ramesh and Sujana Chowdhury.
Well, I mean, this is the standard response of the opposition, that why we are arrested, why they are not arrested. Yes, sir, that is like saying if I run away with a loaf of bread from a shop and I am caught, and if I were to say, why you are catching me, I was hungry so I stole a loaf of bread. But what about those guys? They steal so many things. White collar crime people. That won't be a defense for me. I still maintain, sir, assuming there is an element of vendetta, there is some kind of a witch hunt or to pin down Congress leaders. But question is, why is it becoming easy for them to be pinned down? Congress should ask this question to itself. What is in your conduct you are leaving trails behind?
Very true, very true. Next question, please. Kushanan Keshav wants to know, Sri sir, please bring more info on Telangana elections. Very curious to know the situation there after watching your previous talk show with JVC. What is the situation about Kaleswaram project? Yes, and JVC and I will be coming with the information. We were waiting for the second list of candidates to be released by the BJP, because it's now coming to a point where the quality of the candidate might actually determine the outcome of the election. So you have to watch some of the campaigning going on in Telangana. It's just out of the world. They are doing some really good stuff. So do observe, follow it. If you can speak Telugu, do watch it. And again, see, Telangana is actually part Hindi, part Telugu, part Urdu. It's called Hyderabadi. It's everything thrown into the thing. You'll see some Marathi also, Tamil also. And it's a very colorful language. That's all I can say. This the kind of Telugu that gets spoken in Telangana region. And it's fun time. Just watch it. But we will give you an update very, very shortly, in a day or two. So stay tuned. Next one. Venkatraman Iyer wants to know, in your opinion, will the Congress ever come out of the Siddha, DKS, 𝗤𝗏, 𝗤𝗏 rivalry?
Sir, so long as this rivalry treats the Gandhi clan as the supremo, then they know how to manage these both the people. I mean, because that way their own supremacy is established. Only if it results in the party losing elections, then only the churning will start. Otherwise, it will be business as usual.
Yeah, we could be sitting in a moment in history. For example, if there is any kind of a sympathy for the Hindus, for what Israel is going through, that could very well reflect in these elections. Because what happened to Israel yesterday could happen to India tomorrow. And many people have been actually discussing such a scenario. Can Pakistan do that? Can Bangladesh do that? Can China do that? So a lot of things are going through people's minds. And we have to really, this is a little bit more significant than just saying that these are state assembly elections. Don't pay too much attention into it. Thank you so much, Shekhar ji. We'll be back again on Wednesday with another session with Shekhar ji, 10 a.m. on Wednesday in Hindi. Thank you once again, Shekhar ji, and namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.